Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to the channel. So yesterday I had plans to do this layout because it was day 16 of 30 days of sketches. Here is the sketch right here. It is a lot of photos and journaling cards. I'm going to make the sketch work for me. I have a bunch of photos, a piece of white paper, and that's all I got so far. I've got my kit with me, so let's see what I can do. Guys, this is a lot of sandy faces, so if it's not your thing, I completely understand. Now, the sketch that we are using is created by Terry Rice, and essentially it looks like it could be a pocket page or a way to use up a lot of little photos. Probably a good thing if you have a lot of photos of an event and you can trim them down to the 3x4 size of little snippets of each photo. That would definitely be something that would work. But as you guys know, my priority this month is getting my Punta Cana album finished. So I made the photos I had work with this sketch. Did I make my photos work with the sketch, or did I make the sketch work for me? Is that kind of like the chicken and egg question? But like I said, there are a lot of sandy photos. These are, some of them are selfies and some of them Christopher took. I think most of them Christopher took. The one where Christopher is on the edge of the photo, I obviously took that one, and I think I took the top one because I was making a face at Christopher and sent it to him on the phone, but every other one he took. He likes to take pictures of me. I mean, he's like that, and he does get upset. Not upset, but a little bit like, why aren't you scrapbooking these? Because sometimes I'll scrapbook events and then I'll hand him a stack of photos of me and he's like, put them in the album. I'm like, no, you enjoy those. So I put them in the album this time. So what I am going to do is kind of look where I have areas on the layout to make little bits of embellishment clusters, and then kind of compare it to where it is on the sketch and try to make it work that way. So this first little cluster over here, where it says, oh yeah, on the banner, that is that title block in the sketch, and I thought this would be a good placement for it. So I am overlapping the oh yeah. I just realized that there was a sticker where it said something about this is my favorite place that I was going to put on there too. And I'm not exactly sure where the sticker got off to. So it never made it on the layout. That's okay. Other things make it on the layout. So I overlapped that chipboard piece and went ahead with that die cut. And then I have another flat die cut and then a chipboard heart. So there are flat and dimensional pieces and matte and shiny pieces right there. So now I'm going to create another little cluster, and none of these clusters are going to match. None of these clusters are meant to have the same things in them. Now, two of the clusters have labels because I am a big fan of labels in my clusters, but I'm not doing this in a way for it to be similar. Like, I'm not making it to make my clusters identical. The only thing I want to have identical in my clusters by the time I'm finished with this is some flat things, some dimensional things, and then I'm going to put enamel dots in each cluster just to give it a little bit of interest, because this is a lot of sandy. Do you know what I'm saying? So this cluster over here, I take a label, I have a shell, and then I have some washi tape, and what I'm going to do is use that washi tape over top of some paper, just so it is not a translucent washi tape. There's going to be solidness behind it, and then I use this kind of tag thing, and of course I'm not going to leave the tag hole naked, even though it's a tiny little tag. I'm going to throw my bow in there with my crochet thread, because that's what Mary Beth told me it was. And I'm so glad she told me that was crochet thread, because like I said, I got this thread on clearance at Hobby Lobby, and there's a lot of thread on here, and I got it for stupid cheap. So I'm not going to have to buy white embroidery floss for a hot minute. Plus, I like the way, that it feels. It does not, it's tighter than embroidery floss. And so it's tighter, and the edges don't unravel as fast. I'm sure they're going to eventually unravel, but right now they don't, and I am happy with it. So I've got that cluster there at the top. I'm thinking about adding something else in. Ultimately, I don't. I do end up using this little Living the Beach Life die cut. I don't know if it's a die cut or if it's a sticker that I put on cardstock. I'm not sure. But I am going to place that down here at the bottom. So this is where I'm going to bring in labels one more time. They are different labels though. The label up at the top has those really cool indented edges. I don't know if there's a fancy name for label indented edges or not, but the labels that I'm using down on the bottom do not have that. I did decide to pop up the flower on some pop foam, and that's going to give me a little bit of lift and dimension. Since the other clusters had the chipboard in it, which gave it the lift off the page, I felt like if this one was completely flat, it needed that similarity. Because even though the clusters are not matching, it felt super flat, and especially being on the bottom, it felt really flat. So put that pop foam on the flowers, and that completely rectified my feeling too flat on the bottom issue. So I'm gonna nestle that floral bit so it kind of hugs the bee in Beach Life. And then I was thinking about bringing in some of these rhinestone hearts, but honestly, it just did not feel good on the layout. So I'm going to add in these enamel dots. Now these are kind of like a gray, bluey, little tinge of greeny in there. A green, gray, and blue. So a gruey color, a groony color. I don't know. You know, they mix gray and beige and you have a grayish, but I don't know if there is a mixture for green, blue, and gray. I don't know. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again real soon for another video.